am surrounded by so much talent here, I feel I should bow in front of John Blackman and John Deeks.
And
you know each other, guys?
Well, can I just, before you say anything, let me just say this.
Right.
Having said that, let me say this. The last time I was on 3AW doing a shift was a long time ago because I was fired from the 3AW radio school. Dennis Gibbons suggested that perhaps I wasn't ready for radio. I did the radio school with you.
Yes.
With you.
Who else was with us?
In Latrobe Street.
Yeah, I remember it.
And Dennis and I had have dyslexia, and of course when I'd read copy, it wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
And I used to listen because of it was at night when we did our course, and I would hear Ray Lawrence.
Oh,Ray Lawrence! What a wonderful voice! And he was on Monday night.
Yeah, and I thought if only I could work on 3AW.
Yeah.
And you went on to great success. I went to 2IG Griffith. You went on to huge success.
Yes. I went on to 2GN Goulburn. I spent 6 months there and then 12 months at 2CA Canberra.
Yeah.
And came back here.
That was pretty good.
Well, yeah, and I came back here to do nights, I think, with Alex Kenworthy. But I mean, we've all had.
Yeah, but then you had the breakfast thing, and you were huge, and yada 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 yada. Anyway, I just want to say,
hey, it's Saturday.
And hey, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
So I just want to say you were the success story.
Yeah, right.
You were the big success story from that, and I ended up by, as you know, because the last time you interviewed me was down with Clark Sinclair.
Was it really?
I was under him, remember, for a year, and.
Yes.
Then I went to 2IG Griffith.
Right.
Let's get on to your subject.
All right. Okay.
Oh, no, well, there's no rush.
No.
But so good to see you. And
I got there in the end.
Yes, of course you did.
Yeah, I've been paying the rent for a while.
We've all got stories, haven't we?
Have we ever?
All our careers overlap.
You should hear during the commercial breaks, have we got stories?
Now, what we should do is Nightline Unplugged.
Funny. Now, as you know, because I work at night, I didn't get a chance to see the spelling bee. But did you catch it?
Yes, I caught a lot of it, and I'm sitting there with Cecile saying, "Oh, how would they not know how to spell that?" And I started spelling it. When the pronouncer gave the word, I'd start spelling. Cecile said, "For God's sake, will you stop? You are competing against 9-year-olds. You realise that?" I said,
"But that's engagement. That's perfect."
Well, that's right. But I actually brought in.
By the way, who is the voiceover man on Spelling Bee, and why isn't it John Blackman?
I was about to say to Deeksy, what has happened to the booth announcers in this world?
Yeah.
I mean. Sailor Century used to have Pete Smith, of course.
Yeah.
Now, does Millionaire Hot Seat have a booth announcer? No. Does Family Feud have a booth announcer? No. I'm thinking of all the shows that don't have a booth announcer that should have a booth announcer.
And you know why?
Why is that?
I'm rubbing fingers together. Yeah, it's money.
The moolah, I'm guessing. But I mean,
and it's also they're so very they're so produced.
Yes.
They just get the guy to sort of do a few voiceovers and off you go.
Well,
okay, here's a little trivia question for both of you.
Yeah.
Who was the first voice of Sale of the Century? It was not Pete Smith.
It was not Pete Smith. It was. No, I have no idea.
Corky.
Did you have a go at it there for a while?
No,
people thought you did.
Never did. So I did 780 Family Feuds.
Yeah.
With Tony Barber and Daryl Summers.
And who was the host of Family Feud before Grant Denyer?
Oh, there've been several.
Oh, there's been heaps. Bert's hosted it, I think.
Who was
Tony Barber?
Who was the host of This Is for the Car? Who was the host of Family Feud before Grant Denyer?
I'm trying to think when it was last on. Wasn't Shane Bourne, was it?
No. Robert Bruff.
No, it was after Robert Bruff.
He cut my lunch, Robert Bruff did.
Really?
And he lasted about two weeks, I reckon. When Daryl gave it up, I thought, I know the format back to front.
Yeah.
And I auditioned.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
And Robert Bruff got the job. And there was somebody... Oh, no, Sandy Scott. Sandy Scott hosted.
No, it wasn't Sandy Scott.
Tony Barber did it for a while.
Gentlemen, you're looking at him.
Yes.
Oh, really?
For how long?
How long?
I cut his lunch.
Whose lunch?
Bruff.
Oh, did you?
How long were you doing Family Feud?
Yeah, no.
Thank you for that.
Michael White takes me up to Queensland and says, you're doing that. I've gone, what? He said, you're going to be the host. I've gone, you're kidding.
Fantastic.
Really? I said, okay. So they've said, thank you, Bruffy, who was loved in Queensland. Here's John Deeks. And everyone's gone,
It's actually an easy format, though.
It is.
Were you doing it in Brisbane, were you?
In Brisbane, up on the hill. Unfortunately, the Olympics came on in Spain, and our boss at the time, who had a very, very bad back, Christopher Skase, said, get rid of Family Feud. And I just...
And particularly that bloke who's hosting it.
Particularly John Deeks. Why the heck he didn't keep Rob Bruff on? And we just bought a car and a house, and I've gone back to the darling wife and said, I've lost the job.
After how many episodes?
It must have been a good 20.
4 weeks?
Do you know how many Family Feuds Daryl and I used to do on a Sunday? We would do 10.
10,
We would start at 9 o'clock in the morning and we'd be all through by about 4 or 5 o'clock, and we'd go down to Fitzroy Street to the spaghetti bar down there. Leo's Spaghetti Bar. And we'd have a big nosh up and a couple of drinks. But we did that. I mean, today...
They Grundies were so dirty on him for giving that up. They were filthy on him.
Were they?
Because he said, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. They go, no, yes, you do. And Nine said, well, we're not going to do it if he's not going to do it. So, you know, they were filthy.
Let me tell you this, you think 10 shows and stuff. When I was doing Password for Rich Grundy, and it was done out at Nunawading.
Who turned 93 just recently.
Yes, I know. I've been in touch with him this week in Bermuda.
And he said... he said, who is this?
Philip, who is it? But we used to do every 3 weeks, we would do 15 episodes in a day.
No, that's
15.
Tough.
And 1 week I had a raging temperature and the flu. And after you've done about 4 shows, you don't know what day it is, but also you don't know which commercial break you're in. You don't know if it's just 15 is really tough.
That's tough.
And did you have to change outfits between shows?
Yeah, well, tops because I was hidden from the waist down. Yeah.
Now,
so tell us more about, first announcer on sale. You give up?
I give up.
Before Pete Smith.
Before Pete.
Ron Neat from Adelaide.
Of
Ron
course.
Neat.
He had a lovely voice
Good
too.
trivia question,
He passed
isn't it?
away, didn't he?
I don't know about that.
If you're listening, Ron, call in.
Have you passed on, Ron, or are you still with us?
How are you feeling?
I just want to say, Deeksy, I have been working for around about, 5 or 6 years with a bloke at 3GG in Warrigal, and his name is Andrew Deek, and we call him Deeksy. And he often is asked, are you any relation to John Deeks?
Oh, God, what does he say?
He says, well, no, my name is Deek, D-E-A-K. You're D-E-E-K, aren't you?
No, D-E-E-K-S.
Oh, you're Deeks.
Of course he is. John Deeks.
John Deeks, that's right.
And at Channel 7, the Olympics are coming up, and a few people have said to me, I've seen your name on the rundown. As one of the commentators. I said, you're kidding. Of course, you know who they put down. They put down Deeks because of Robert De Costello.
Oh, yes,
I said, I'm doing the warm-up for the Your beauty.
Hey, I wonder if Brendan Sheedy was thinking of John Blackman when he talked about radio announcers with $1 million voices and $1 brains. He did today.
Really? He said that?
Not about you. No.
About an announcer.
There are quite a few around, by the way.
Oh, well, don't we know them?
Now, listen, talking about spelling bee, I brought in a whole list of words which people have a lot of trouble spelling, evidently.
All right.
So you might like to try your listeners out with them, through until midnight.
I tried Deeks myself out on a couple.
No, I'm no good.
No, come on.
I'm no good.
Okay, conscientious.
C-O-N-S-C-I-O-U-S.
No, sir. But I'm
Did I
sorry.
leave an N out?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. See, I'm sounding like the pronouncer. Have you watched it? Don't you love the look on the kids' faces? They get so disappointed. They go,
really?
You think somebody had told them their mother had just died or something. The look they get on their faces.
Well, there they are. Has anyone burst into tears yet?
Well, they've come close, I reckon.
Hit Johnny with one.
Is it like Dance Mums?
Well, kind of thing. I'm not too sure of the role of Chrissy Swan in the whole thing, but she's out there wrangling the parents.
It's called She's Under Contract. What'll you do with her?
Oh, right, okay. So she's been warehoused, has she?
No, she's working on that.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, but...
Try John on one.
She's lovely, Chrissy.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Don't say that about her.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying what is her role.
Don't say she's been warehoused, and, she's got a great role on it. What is she doing on it?
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie. Where is it? C.
See, a lot of people say camaraderie, by the way.
See, this is why CAMARADERIE.
Yeah, but people say camaraderie. as in comrade.
Incorrectly.
It's incorrect. Yes, you're quite right.
Now, Grant Daniel admitted in the paper that he is a rotten speller. So how does he go with his pronunciations of the words, all right?
Well, he doesn't have to. I don't think he does, because he just has to sit there and do that look to the kids, say, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Really? Okay.
He doesn't have to spell
Hasn't he
words.
done well? I mean, and Sunday Family Feud and everything, he's on there every day.
Yes, he's doing
Good
very
on
well.
him.
I always think it's amusing, though, because he's a little bit on the short side when he actually comes out and there's a 12-year-old who's taller than him.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that true?
That's hysterical, yes.
Hey, guys, hate to do it to you.
What?
Before you do, Phil, I've got to jump in here. Hello, Simon out here on the other side of the
Simon,
glass.
there you are.
That reminds me of when Rove McManus did that "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?"
Yeah, that's right.
Which was known by, I think more people knew it by its alternative title, which was "Are You Taller Than a Fifth Grader?"
Oh,
People are so cruel in our business,
Why is
aren't
it there?
they?
Why are so many hosts height challenged? Going right back to Graham.
Yes, Tony Barber was not a giant, was
How
he?
tall was Graham?
Oh, shorter than you are.
5'7"?
Maybe 5'6", 5'5".
Well, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Eric
I think.
Pierce was very short too when you met Eric.
But then,
What game shows did he ever do?
Yeah, well, that's the problem, isn't it? He just couldn't conquer them.
Imagine doing a warm-up.
Hey, guys, we could go on all night like this.
Well,
but,
we are supposed to, aren't we?
But we